Good afternoon, everybody. Madam Roy back once again. Back to you in front of the CHKD Thrift Store. Wasn't planning on this, but I was so blessed by what happened today at church, I decided to do a surprise Sunday afternoon live stream. We'll see how many people come here. I'm not sure. Oh, let me resituate myself because the sun is pouring through that back window. See how many people we get to this live stream. I know Sundays are usually really good, but we'll give it just a couple of minutes. Gorgeous day out, 53 degrees. Sunday, this is the first Sunday, second Sunday of April. So really, really cool. We got a few people here. Larchmont Breeze, hey buddy. Higher Gun, that's funny. Yo Matt, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you too. I have a couple mints in my mouth. Sorry, let me finish these up and I'll be able to talk a little bit better. 7 watchers, that's awesome. Never got to 7 quite that quick. That's only 1 minute and 12 seconds in. You guys can talk about anything and everything. This is going to be another free-for-all, so go ahead and ask me some questions, whatever you want to ask me. I've been very busy lately. Well, I haven't done too many videos. Knocking out computer repairs, knocking out computer builds, just doing a little bit of everything. Helping out my parents. My mother's going in for a procedure. I'm not going to get into details, but helping her get prepared for that. So it has just been really hectic around the house. But got some free time now, and I think we got some comments, questions coming in. Okay, Chris Garrett, gotcha. It's I386. Please refer to me as I386. I'm not logged in with that account. Okay. So I386. I386. I386 wants to know about a good screen recorder that'll do VGA and HDMI. Wants to do some things on old computers. I'm going to refer you to my friend Eric Brunhammer. He just bought one, and I don't remember exactly what it is, the brand or anything, but I know it can do screen capture VGA and HDMI, I believe. But I'll never forget, even if you get one that just does, say, HDMI, there are converters that'll go from HDMI to DVI, and I believe there's ones that'll go from HDMI to VGA as well. So no matter what you get, you should be able to adapt it to work for your particular setup. I've never used screen captures very much. Years ago when I was transferring my old 8mm footage to DVDs, I used real cheap... oh man, what brand was that? DVD Logic, something like that. And I think I also used, I'm trying to remember what the other one was. Oh, a Pinnacle. It was a Pinnacle DVD capture card. Basically, it was used to capture old school, and I'm talking old VHS footage, 8mm and VHS-C footage, and I put it to the computer, or I was able to edit it in Pinnacle's studio back then. I can't even remember what it's called, but then I was able to burn it to a DVD. So go ahead and talk to Eric Brunhammer. He should be able to help you with that. Alex Smith, how did the date go? That's funny. She was actually just texting me right now. It went really well. We went to IHOP, and I was really good. I had the 2x2x2, so I had the 2 pancakes, 2 sausage links, and 2 eggs. And she had the, it was a cheese quesadilla. Basically, it was chicken quesadilla minus the chicken, because she's a vegetarian. And she also had 1 pancake. So we ate there. Talked for a good long while. Then we went to Sonic, where we weren't so good. I had myself a small shake, but I needed it anyway because that meal didn't really fill me up too much. Then we went and did a walk. I don't know if we're definitely going to get together again. I'm not rushing it. You know, I'm the kind of person that likes to take relationships slowly. You get to know each other at first, and then, you know, you find out if you have stuff in common, and only then can you take it up another level. So, we'll see what happens. I386, my dog is as bad as your cat, a standard poodle that will jump on counters and get things. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Those little poodles can be really mischievous. When I was young, one of our neighbors, Linda, she and her son owned a little regular poodle, and man, that thing was a nightmare. That actually, because of that dog, I was scared of small dogs, especially poodles, for many years. That dog, every time I went over that house, would torment me. It would stalk me. It was one of those yippy dogs too. So if you went near it, it would actually just take a little bite on your finger. Used to bite my legs. Oh, I think that dog was horrible. I'd be honest with you, I wish you got rid of the thing, because that dog was just the nastiest little dog I'd ever seen. Alex Smith says, that's great. I need to get out and meet someone too. Yeah, don't be afraid to do that, because in the past I have been very afraid of new relationships. I tend to be a very shy person, even though it doesn't come out in these videos. I don't come out that way. I'm much more content to stay home, work on my computers, watch some TV, and then to go out and go to something like the bar scene or go to a club, which I would not do. But I have to force myself to get out there. I like going out now with girls to eat, going out to movies. But I still have issues with the club scene and the bars. It's just, I don't like it. Being a Christian, I don't like the kind of element that hangs out there. The kind of language that's thrown around in places like that. It's just not my thing. So it probably never will be either. And you know what? I'm totally okay with that. We have 10 watchers and 4 likes. Click that like button if you like this. Please help me out a little bit here. I'm sorry, I'm fighting a little bit of a ear infection, so I'm trying to clear my ear. So if you see me do this a little bit, I'm just trying to open up my ear canal. Unfortunately, that's something I've lived with for quite a few years now. I know if Eric Brunhammer was here, he'd tell you the same thing, unfortunately. Stephen Barber's here. My uncle's cat would jump on my desk, and back then I had a Macintosh Performer with a power button on the keyboard. Well, that computer was connected to sound system, and he hit the button. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Our school district had a bunch of those, and basically on the keyboard was a soft power button. It would work through the software, I believe. It was the top right, and it was like a little arrow, and you push that, and that's how you would turn the computer on. As a matter of fact, we had a couple Macintosh LC3s, I believe it was, and Perform 575s in the school that didn't even have any physical power buttons. I know the earlier LCs, the LC1 and LC2s did, but I don't think the LC3s did. If they did, maybe they removed it for whatever reason, but I remember the only way to turn them on was that button in the top right corner of the keyboard. Woo, getting quite a few questions in here. Jordan Bird, do you think outdated hardware is still worth using? Just wondering on whether it's performance, because I'm looking at Cisco Catalyst 3550 24-port rack switch that was manufactured in 2003. Well, really depends on what you're going to be using it for. Something like that, I mean, if you're using it for a home environment, hook up all your systems, maybe just stream some Netflix or Hulu, YouTube content, yeah, I'd say you're okay. Now, on the other hand, if you're using it in a business environment or using it to transfer massive amounts of files from one computer to another, then no, I would say you want to get something definitely more updated than that. Especially the Cisco branded stuff, the professional grade switches, routers, hubs, they're all bulletproof. They're made to last for years. So yeah, I'd say you'd be fine. I mean, you could probably get another 10 or 15 years out of one of those hubs. Really amazes me how well the business class equipment is built. Same thing with the Dell Optiplex towers, like the 780s, the 760s that I get, even the 790s. They will last forever. I mean, they're just made that well. Eric Brunhammer's here. Hey, Eric. Yep. What's up, Doc? What's up? Yep. I'm glad you were able to stop by. And yeah, before you asked me, I was able to watch a majority of your vlog the other night. I probably got through about half of it before I went to bed. And I know I'm really bad. I try to watch all your guys' content when you put it out, but that's only when time allows, unfortunately. Oh, Mark Covington made it. Awesome. I should have figured Sundays would be a good day for you because you're probably off work at that point. Hey, Matt, good to see you again. I just recently tried installing Windows Movie Maker for Windows 10, and when I tried installing it, it came up WordShare Filmora. Okay. But basically, you just downloaded the wrong file. Microsoft Windows Movie Maker isn't even officially supported anymore. You really have to scour the web to even find it again. You can find it out there. There are some hosts out there. I know Major Geeks was one that still had the old file. And you got to download the whole file. I think it's about 134 megabytes or something like that. But if you want to start using WordShare Filmora, I know Eric Brunhammer has used it, but if you're just getting into video editing, I would still recommend trying to hunt for a copy of Movie Maker. As a matter of fact, get with me later on. I might be able to send you it on a flash drive or send you a copy of it on a DVD. I'll definitely get up with you later on about that because I truly believe that Movie Maker is going to be your best bet, especially if you're just starting out video editing. Let me see, Jordan Bird. It's enterprise grade, and I wasn't real sure. That's why I asked. And I mainly get business hardware from thrift stores or family. Appreciate the advice. Yeah, I am not by any means a expert on rack mount servers and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, it's been probably 5 or 6 years since I've taken a networking class. But I stand by what I say about enterprise and business class equipment. They are made to go the distance. One thing you may want to be careful, though, if your hub has built-in fans, usually they use 30 or 40 millimeter fans, similar to what you would find on the older graphics cards, even the early Pentium processors. Those fans are the first things to wear out. So if you plug the equipment in, you notice kind of like a grindy whine, like a kind of sound. That means you're gonna need to replace those fans, and they're not that hard. I've done it before on my old. I did it on my old what was that, Cisco 24 port. Hub, and basically I just went on eBay. I unscrewed the fan. Usually it's 4 screws. You pull it out, you just read the numbers on the fan. You can search eBay and get them really cheap, $5-10, and then you just put the new one in. But you want to be careful. You want to make sure you get the fan that has the right connector. Sometimes they use the 3-pin, sometimes use the 4-pin connector, so make sure you match it up with whatever fan you're going to buy. Let me see what else here. I'm sorry, I'm getting so many questions here. It's hard to keep up. Michael Laforte, any update on the $50 gift card? Yes, and I did mention this in a vlog, but I'm pretty sure you guys probably missed it. I'm having an issue right now with my AdSense. I should be getting it. Should being the opportune word, this month, so I'm hoping to do this early May, and I apologize. I know it's going out a lot longer than I wanted to. It's just that I've had some issues with AdSense recently, getting the funds together to do this. And I will say this, and I know I touched on this before, this is going to be for the $50 Amazon gift card. This is going to be for U.S. residents only. I know there are other ones I can get that'll include, people in other countries. But for now, for the first one, it's just going to be for U.S. residents. So that's all I'm going to say about that here. You guys will be hearing more about that in the near future. Larchmont Breeze. Matt, can you use a gaming computer for regular word processing? Well, you can. I wouldn't recommend it because you're going to be spending a lot more money getting that gaming computer. As a matter of fact, that's kind of my business model. When I get these older computers to refurbish, you know, I get the Dell Optiplex 760s, 780s lately. Sometimes I'll get the 790s. The reason I get these computers are 9 times out of 10, people that are looking for a used or rebuilt computer don't need the latest and the greatest. They don't need a Core i5, i7, 6th or 7th gen with 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM and a solid state hard drive. They just need something for, like you said, word processing, you know, maybe watching some YouTube videos, internet use. They don't need to be spending $500, $700, $800, $1,000 on a new computer. That's why I feel I give a good service to people. I put these computers together, usually sell them with the 2 monitors, 19, 20-inch monitors, whatever I can get in. Keyboard, mouse, speakers, and even a webcam for usually under $200. So there are people out there that do it differently. I know a lot of you guys out there do new builds for clients, and that's great. But I've kind of found my niche market in the refurbished desktops, and I deal in volume, and you know, it's really done very well for me. And I don't care if you guys want to copy what I'm doing. Matter of fact, I'd find that flattering, to be honest with you. I really enjoy what I do, and it's not for everybody, but it works well for me. NWS Storm Chaser says, "Hi, how you doing? I am doing well today. A little tired. I didn't get my walk in, for those of you that are interested. I was going to walk, but my lower back has been very sore. We did our exercise yesterday. I'm trying to kind of scatter my days now, because whereas before I was walking and exercising 7 days a week, I just can't do it anymore. My body is kind of screaming, stop, stop, stop. So right now what I'm doing is pretty much every other day. So that'll be 2, 3, about 4 days a week. I might have a day or two where I do it back to back, but it's got to be done in moderation, because you don't want to wear your body out. If I wear my body out, there's no point in that, because that means I won't be able to exercise at all. Ooh, I see we got quite a few questions in. Eric Brunhammer goes, "At this point, I don't know when I will ever be paid by YouTube again, although they were gracious enough to allow my last video to be monetized." Yeah, I noticed that. Eric is getting hit with the cursed, not, what do they say? It's not available for monetization, or basically what it is, a limited or no ads. Basically what it is, it's YouTube's algorithm saying that your content is not appropriate, or it's not ad friendly, which usually isn't the case. And all you have to do there is do a manual review. But unfortunately, that usually takes 3 or 4 days, and at that point you've gotten most of your views, and you've lost a lot of your ad revenue at that point. So I feel you, man. I had the same problem a few months ago. Luckily for me, it cleared up. Hopefully it will for you in the near future. We got 16 watchers, 7 likes. Come on, click that like button. Help me out. You know I like that. Let's see what else we got here. Militant Vegan. I love that username. I love it. "I spent around 2,500 pounds building my setup. It still runs. 700 alone was in water cooling parts." Oof. I never played around with the water cooling. The only time I ever worked on that was with an old Power Mac G5. And what had happened there is the water cooler, the pipes had failed, and everything, the coolant leaked out and caused the board to fail, because it basically just rusted, and the rust caused all this corrosion. So I tend to shy away from water cooling setups. Chris Garrett said, I do not live in areas where I would find the computers like I find. Yeah, it really just depends. Before I moved down here in New York, we had maybe one secondhand store, and they were really expensive. They got a computer, and they would sell it refurbished. Whereas around here, I feel very blessed that I'm allowed to get, able to get computers this way. But I will reiterate, I don't get my computers solely from thrift stores, and a lot of the computers I do get at the thrift stores are mainly used for parts. I do get a lot of monitors, keyboards, mice, and accessories there, but the towers I usually get by other means, auctions, lists I find on Craigslist, people selling in bulk. So it's not only thrift stores. Mr. Burns, my computer was running really slow, so me and my brother upgraded the RAM to from 4 gigabytes to 16 gigabytes. A new performance hard drive and a solid state drive. Also reinstalled Windows 7 on an SSD. Wow, Windows 7 would definitely fly on that computer, depending on what the CPU is, but generally Windows 7 works really well with 4 gigabytes of RAM. As a matter of fact, for basic computer usage with Windows 10, I find 4 gigabytes is usually sufficient. Feels like having a new computer. Yeah, I can imagine. That'd be a big performance increase. Milton Vegan. This is a massive risk I find with the parts. I mean, it rarely gets hotter than 55 Celsius, but I have had several leaks over the years, and it is a heart-stopping moment. I would highly recommend air. Man, I'd be sweating buckets if I was in your shoes. Yeah, air cooled, especially with all of the newer processors, they are much more efficient. Really isn't any reason to go with water cooling anymore, at least in my opinion. Chris Garrett, Windows 7 score was 5.9. Put the SSD and it went to 7.4. Yeah, 5.9 in Windows 7 performance index is standard pretty much for a regular conventional hard drive. Even slower than that. I remember some laptops I had with 5400 RPM drives. Windows 7 would score them like at 4.9 for the hard drive. Nice. All right. Well, we're waiting for more comments and questions. We got 17 watchers, 14 likes. That's awesome. I figured Sunday would be a good day. Everybody's off from church. I'm sure everybody got out by now. It's almost 5 o'clock here, so I'm not going to be able to make this too long because I actually need to get home and eat a little something. I want to tell you a little story today. After church, this was our church's 36th anniversary. They've been an actual church for 36 years. Now, they haven't had the building that long, but they have been a incorporated church for that long. So today we actually had a meal after. It was catered, which was really nice, and we had some really good fellowship with two people I'm reconnecting with. They're a little bit older than me, but very, very nice. We got to talk. We had some good food, and I was good. What they had was pork barbecue, which for those of you that don't know, that don't live in southern United States, is shredded pork in a vinegar-based sauce. They had fried chicken, beans, macaroni and cheese, and green beans and onions. And that was really good. I didn't have the fried chicken. I did have a little macaroni and cheese. I had the green beans and onions. I had the pork and beans, which I know a lot of you British guys know what I'm talking about. And so I had the barbecue pork, and then I had a little piece of cake at the end. So altogether, I didn't do too bad at all. And I did not go back for seconds. That is the key. When you are trying to lose weight, that second and third helping, that's what really packs on the pounds. So if you can all get away with one helping, I would highly recommend doing that every single time. Jonathan Grindle, have you ever tried out any of the customized versions of Windows, like Windows XP Black Edition or Windows 7 Gold Edition? None of those. I did try the Windows XP POS Ready 2009. That's basically the only version of Windows XP that's still supported. That one is very, very basic. It has just the basic stuff for like point of sale systems. Oh. I hope no one else sends me. Mark, if you're still here, please don't send me any messages while I'm trying to do this. Thank you. I did try the Windows 2000 unofficial service pack 4. That's what I have running on my music server, and that actually works really well. That allows me to use the later version of Opera browser. Opera, I think it's version 12.04. So those are about the only two that I've tried, but no, not really. I really stick with the mainstream versions of Windows for the most part. Larchmont Breeze, Matt. Does your viewership drop if you don't talk computers? Just asking. Sometimes I've noticed that when I get on the topic of diet or exercise or talking about my cats, yeah, they kind of drop off a little bit, but that's okay. You know what? My channel from almost the very beginning has been a variety channel, so we're going to talk a little bit about everything here. And I just lost another one, went from 15 to 14. So let's do a little experiment. Let's start talking about computers, see if I get a few more viewers in here. Eric Brunhammer says he uses XP Black Edition. Boss Baby rocks, okay. Stephen Barber, how is Trouble Kitty, aka Milo, doing? Still being a troublemaker. Last night, the new thing that he's doing now is he's clawing at all the curtains in the house, in the den, in my room, in mom and dad's master bedroom, pretty much everywhere. And we have a little cat scat bottle to spray him when he does that, but he goes from one thing to another. He's really, really a bad boy at times, to be honest with you. Eric Brunhammer, I joked about leaving that compact in my truck until I visit you and doing the review down there. Yeah, please don't leave any computers in your vehicle, especially during summertime, and even if especially they're vintage, because that kind of heat will balloon and explode those capacitors, even if they were good to begin with. Lazy Fisher Keeper, move to Windows 10 as that is what is supported. Yeah, I have no problem with Windows 10. As I've stated before, I actually like Windows 10. I think it's a very stable operating system. It's not as intrusive, I think, as Windows 8 was. I still like Windows 7 myself. I use Windows 7 on my data backup rig. But yeah, I have no problems with Windows 10 at all. I know there are a lot of people that argue with me about that, but it's just the way I feel. K-Ann Daly. Oh, I love cats. We have two. Both died of cancer. Aw, but are amazing creatures. Yes, they are. I know they're not for everybody. You got to be a very patient person, but if you're patient and you're nice and kind to them, they will give that back to you tenfold. Got a lot of noisy people out here, I tell you. I can be that way too, so I shouldn't be complaining. Eric Brunhammer, I will never understand all the hate that Windows 10 gets. I understand it a little bit. A lot of people don't like the fact that they can spy on you a lot easier with Windows 10 than they can with the older versions. But you got to remember, now with the latest update, you can adjust those privacy settings. You can to make it to where it's a lot less obtrusive and a lot safer to use. I mean, other than that, I know people that have said it doesn't run well on their computers. Matter of fact, my uncle's neighbor, she had a Windows 7 system that we upgraded to Windows 10. She started having all kinds of problems, so we basically downgraded her back to Windows 7. So I do get it. I do understand those of you that don't like it, and you're free to express your opinions there. But for me, it's always worked well, except for the second release, the second preview, pretty much the one right before they released the full version, did not play well with the hardware in my Dell XPS 8700, but ever since they updated it, it's worked fine. Chris Garrett, I like Windows 10 better now. I put it in my desktop from 2010. It runs better with the SSD. Yes, it does. As a matter of fact, I think Windows 10 runs the best with SSDs. Windows 8 to a lesser extent. And I've actually had a few customers of mine complain that Windows 7 does not play well with quite a few of their SSDs. So the fact that Windows 10 is a newer, more polished operating system, that's one of the reasons I love it so much. Yes, I heard that. There are new versions of Windows 10 about to be released. It's basically just polishing some of the rough edges. I know one thing they were trying to fix was an issue with certain sound card drivers being deleted by Windows, specifically the IDT and some of the Realtek sound cards. There are a few other things getting fixed there, but that was the main thing for the reason they were doing an update. Sorry about that. Got 16 watchers and 16 likes. I like even numbers. My OCD likes that too. GR338DY. Any plans to do more cooking videos in the near future? Yes. The reason I haven't done too many is I like to do them with Mom. And Mom is having some issues right now with her teeth. Once she gets all that fixed, we are definitely going to be doing some more cooking videos. I have some really cool things planned for the near future as pertains to cooking. Maybe even getting some more food reviews in there too. 17 likes now. I'm only showing 16. I think I'm on a little bit of a delay here for some reason. Eric Brunhammer, do I think Windows 10 will run well on the compact ProLinia 486 25 megahertz? Haha. Yeah, maybe if you were able to overclock that about 100 times. Of course, you never be able to cool it off enough. Yes, do more food reviews as well. Yeah, I really want to get to it, and I know a lot of you guys have a lot of great ideas, and I try to implement as many as I can as time allows. Lately, I've had a lot of people asking for my time. Actually, that's a lyric from a Joni Mitchell song. A lot of people asking for my time. They're trying to get ahead, trying to be a good friend of mine. I've been listening to a lot of Joni Mitchell lately. You got to manage your time wisely. There are people out there that you absolutely want to help, but sometimes you have to help yourself. And I know that does sound a little selfish, but if you don't help yourself, then you can't help others as well. Because if you're in a good place financially, spiritually, then you're going to be able to get other people in that same good place financially and spiritually. So there's a nice fine line there. So just got to be a little careful. And I am not a good person with time management. Just putting that out there. Eric, they'll not ever start. Yeah, I don't think you'll ever get Windows 10 seriously on a compact. Fry is back. Oh, finally a live stream. Yeah, I might be a few days late here. Oops. Let's see what else we got. Well. I don't know, somebody's in the back honking. I don't know why. Jody Dunn, hello from Oklahoma. Enjoy your channel a lot. Well, thank you very much, Jody. Sing it, brother. Joni was a great songwriter. Yeah, I still is, actually. She's still kicking around. Though at her age, I'm sure she's not going for as long. I heard she's going to release a new album, too. I don't know if it's new songs or re-recordings of some old stuff, but it'll be interesting when it comes out. On an interesting factoid, my mother cannot stand Joni Mitchell's music. She calls it hippie music, and sometimes I'll torture her. Like, she'll be at home in the den, and I just really feel like listening to some Joni Mitchell, so I'll crank it up in my room. She'll be nice. Usually she won't say much, but after about 10-15 minutes, she'll come in and say, "Turn that hippie music down!" Sam Hodgson, I'm not sure if my Dell Vostro 230 quad-core would run well on Windows 10. It runs Windows 11 flawlessly. I've had lower-end systems perform worse with Windows 10 compared to Windows 7. You'd be able to run Windows 10 just fine on that computer. I've run Windows 10 on Vostro 220s with Core 2 Duos. If you even run Windows 10 on a Dell Inspiron 530 with a Pentium D, believe it or not. So yeah, Windows 10, you'd be fine on that computer. That same lady has been standing in the background for a while. Yeah, I wonder if they know what I'm doing in here. They probably wonder why this guy's sitting in his van talking to his cell phone. Oh well, I don't care. The last Super Kmart in Warren, Ohio closed today. That's really sad. And I was never a big Kmart fan in the first place. I think that they had their fan base and they were good for a while. But the one down here was just a pigsty, and they closed about 2 years ago. It was a big Kmart. I just didn't like the service. They had some good products at times, but the two problems that our Kmart suffered from, one was poor customer service, and two, they did not keep the store clean. The store looked like a bargain basement in Boscov's. It was just a total disaster. Clothes were flung around everywhere. The floors were filthy. The Kmart, the K Cafe that was in there looked like you get E. coli in it from anything that you would eat. So honestly, I believe that's the downfall of Kmart. They just could not adapt or keep their stores clean. We got hired gun. Oh, that's funny. Retailers had to adjust to the retailers of online sales. If they don't, they will not survive. Absolutely. And the key thing was with Radio Shack specifically was their website. They got to the game way too late when it came to online sales. You know, places like Amazon, eBay were already well established, and that's pretty much what killed Radio Shack. And there isn't even one left around here. There are a few Radio Shack authorized distributors. Basically, they're little stores that have the Radio Shack logo, and they sell some Radio Shack merchandise, but they sell other things as well. But there are no actual Radio Shack corporate stores left at this point. Oh dang, Eric Brunhammer said, I would love to see a fight on live TV. Yeah, hopefully that's not going to happen today. Oh, they're gone now. Someone said, oh, the black car? Yeah, that's an Acura. I think he's talking about the one over there. There were a couple black cars right over here, but they've gone at this point. Got 18 watchers, 17 likes. Let me get that one other like. Let me get it 18 and 18 here. Come on, I know we can do it. Mr. Burns, anyone remember Blockbuster Video? Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. We had one right down the street here. They were great for renting video games in the day, but yeah, they're another one that could not adapt. Another interesting factoid, I remember they had a chance to buy Netflix when it was young, and I think it was for like a couple $1 million. They didn't think it was worth it. Big mistake on their part. Look at it now. Blockbuster isn't in existence, and Netflix, look at how much they're worth. That would have been a really nice acquisition. The one near Dave's Electronics is just a Radio Shack authorized dealer. That's Eric Brunhammer. Yeah, that's pretty much all you'll find around here too. Because they do still sell online Radio Shack, so people, I guess, just buy the products and sell them independently. Arizona Sparkle's got the 18th like. Bam, girl power. You like that? Bam, girl power. That's awesome. I love seeing women on here because it seems like my viewership is like 80-20, and I actually got that from my YouTube analytics, and it's not by it's not by design. It's just, I guess, the majority of people that like my content just tend to be guys. So tell your friends. I'd love to have an equal number. I'd love to be 50-50 here if we could. can't believe this ear infection is driving me crazy. I have to go to the doctor maybe Monday. Let's see what else we got here. You have to watch Rules of Engagement. I think I've seen that show. That was Fry, by the way. I think I've seen that show once or twice. I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. I just don't find it interesting to me. You know, I much rather, you know, be making videos for you guys, walking, exercising, you know, hanging out with my friends. I'm not a big TV guy, except for night. The two shows I've been watching lately in reruns, one is Alf, and the other one is Sybil, and they've all been on the Roku network, or the Roku TV. Basically, it's like Netflix for Roku subscribers. The only difference is you don't pay for it, but you have to watch some commercials in between. I'm actually starting to like Sybil a little bit. That show, I never really watched it that much when it was on originally, but yeah, that's actually a pretty funny show. I used to watch Moonlighting. Loved Moonlighting. Okay, Eric Brunhammer says he's actually seen a few girls comment on my video. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's funny. I've never noticed it, and I know I'm not the greatest with responding to comments. Again, with me, it's just a time problem. I just don't have the time to sit down, and unfortunately, don't have the time to sit down and respond to everybody's comments. That's why I love doing these, because this allows you guys to interact with me directly and get a lot of your questions answered. Arizona Sparkles, for ear, try some tree oil in piping hot water and keep your ear above the bowl. Don't stick your ear in it, just let the steam waft in your ear. Well, thank you. I might give that a try. It's always been my left ear for some reason, and I suffered with ear infections as a kid on a regular basis. I mean, this was just par for the course in my life, so I will give that a try. I've also used witch hazel, they call it. It's you get it in little bottles. You can get them from Dollar Tree. And what I do is I actually pour a little bit in my ear with a medicine dropper, and I put some cotton there, and I kind of let my head sit like this for 5 or 10 minutes, and that also works well usually. Oh, sorry, I'm starting to lose my voice. We'll go on a little bit longer. I should have brought some water or something to drink with me. Ear infections are the worst because it's not something you can rub. Oh, poor thing. Thank you. Yeah, I totally agree. They are just a pain. And with me, for whatever reason, I would never feel the actual pain. I would feel like a pressure, or I would feel like my hearing wasn't as good. So it would get to the point where it was really infected before I'd even go to the doctor, because I wouldn't know anything was wrong until it was in its like second or third week sometimes. Thank you. Your prayers will be much appreciated. Did I ever have tubes in my ears? No. I actually did not ever have to do that. I know people that have had that. Mainly, it never was that bad. With me, I used to call them earaches, but then, like I said, by the time I went to the doctor, they turned into ear infections. But no, I never had the need for the tubes. Luckily, as I got to through puberty and through to my adult side of life, they pretty much went away. Now I maybe get them once a year or so, but no, I know people that had those tubes, and ugh, I don't even like thinking about it. All right, tubers, I'm actually going to end it here because I am losing my voice. I need to get home and eat something. Thank you guys for being here. I really enjoy doing these live streams. Continue to like and subscribe. There is going to be a lot of interesting content coming in the near future. Hopefully this weather is going to break. It's sunny today, but man, is it still cold. I am ready. I am done with winter. I am ready for spring/summer. And unfortunately around here, we usually don't have that. We usually go right from winter into summer. So we go from the 30s and 40-degree Fahrenheit weather up to the 80s. I'll even take the 80s at this point. Please continue to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.